This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Getting set for all the action on what my idol Vin Scully would have said was a beautiful afternoon here in the Sunshine State. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting ready at Wetlands Golf and Country Club. An interesting layout, Frank. The players are ready to go. And what are you thinking about as you get set to tee off?
Well, you're thinking about you're going to play a long golf course, sort of mid-7,000 yard range. But this is a golf course that you actually do get to hit your driver more often than not. So it's a good driving golf course. Green's relatively flat as well, but be careful if you're a little weak of heart. Look left or right, you might see the odd gator or two. Oh, I liked that.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Now to the second, par 3, 225 yards. This one looks right on point. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
The third hole here at the Wetlands is a par 4, 460 yards. Frank, it appears to be a pretty straightforward tee shot.
It is, and actually, Rich, when I was watching the web.com event here, this is where I saw those young, talented players really take advantage of a hole like this. Just ramrod straight. They teed it up and just ripped it down there, and these are the sort of holes they can often make three on. Bunkers sort of short, left and right. Plenty of green to work with. Nice, high-flying second shot will be well rewarded here.
Good-looking shot right here. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. Wow, check this out, Frank. Par 3, 4th, 250 yards. This is a really cool hole.
It is. You tee off, and that tee shot right across the swampland into a crescent-shaped green, and of course it is protected by that bunker that just cuts in. It doesn't give you very much depth on that middle line of the green, so if the pin's in the middle, that's when the hole plays its most difficult. It's gone.
In the hole. You do not see that every day. That, folks, is a hole-in-one. Wow. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. What a drive. Just tattooed that. Now the second shot to the par 5. safely aboard. Settles in over the putt. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. On to the par 4 sixth here at the Wetlands. And Frank, how does that water factor into the way you play this hole?
It bisects this fairway beautifully, Rich. 233 yards to the run out on the first section of fairway. And that might be worth considering for the short hitters. To try and flash it across the narrowest part of those wetlands, 276 yards. And of course, the more horsepower you got, actually the easier this tee shot becomes.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. These putts keep the round together. 5 birdies for the day. What a performance. Here at the par 5 7th at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club, 592 yards. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity. Rich, that was a heat-seeking missile. That is out there.
And they make it look so easy, and we know it isn't, but when you hit tee balls that long and that straight, it does make the game kind of simple. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
That moves them to 8 under par. 2 straight birdies. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green, but there's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So tricky little par 3.
Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high. Others might want to play it a little lower along the ground.
Really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich. And really that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions. But conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
Wow, rolling the ball beautifully. Makes birdie again.
Yeah, that pace, that roll, it's always getting to the hole, and it's the perfect, what we call the perfect holding speed. It uses all 4 1/4 inches of the cup.
Excellent looking shot here. This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it. Stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
He'll be pleased with that. The approach shot is about 12 feet away. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Boy, he looked like Ben Crenshaw right there. That was smooth and easy, right in the heart. So here we go on the back nine at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo for EA Sports. And Frank, I'm pumped up for this second nine.
Oh, this is a hard hole, Rich, and anything long or left and you're guaranteed to be wet. That's for sure. 3 bunkers short, and the fun zone, that's the green just beyond those. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Par 4 11, Frank, we're looking at 443 yards.
Yeah, the Wetlands golf course is a really good driving course. This is another example here, Rich, where the fairway's just wide enough to reward a good tee shot, and then those 2 bunkers don't really come into play. But Wetlands becomes very difficult when you just start to stray a little bit off the fairway. Then you start to see why those bunkers are put there.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, no reason here to think we're going to see anything other than another good shot.
Yeah, in a great flow, and golf like this looks easy.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Par 5 12 here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club is 576 yards. First par 5 on this backside. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
That's a good start to the hole. Right down the middle.
Second shot.
Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole today.
Yeah, an eagle. What a putt. Here we go at the par 4 13, 452 yards. What's the best angle of attack?
The straight line really is the best way here, like a lot of holes on the golf course. But straight, as we know, is not often easy. Fairway does start to widen up the further out there you get it. So for the longer hitters, this hole actually plays relatively easy. For the shorter hitters in that narrow area, that'll leave you a lengthy second shot where you just might have to bisect the 2 front greenside bunkers.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Just a couple of feet. Stroked that with authority. Moving on to the tricky 14th here at the Wetlands. It's 204 yards, but there is plenty of trouble out there. This could be a good one. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Getting set now over the putt. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Stepping up here on the 15th tee at the Wetlands, this is a 590-yard par 5. That one is just a little offline, and that will not end up in the fairway. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Oh, he's going to love it. Great putt. Moving to the 16th hole here at the Wetlands, 455-yard par 4, and you can see, Frank, that green is heavily guarded.
And consequently, you're really going to have to judge that second shot. Know your yardage, and also a good strike's required to safely keep the ball on the putting surface. Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. 17th at the Wetlands, par 3, 238 yards. Frank, how would you describe this hole?
Well, it's a hole really that shapes up well for a nice little high draw. See the angle of the green pointing slightly to the right. A nice little draw into this par 3. And that'll find a nice avenue. Maybe a kick forward, 15, 20 feet left for birdie. And if you birdied 16, chance to birdie 17 as well.
On the green in regulation. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Final hole here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. It's par 4. It's not a long one, 377 yards. There must be some trouble out there somewhere.
Well, not really if you keep your wits about you. Just position the tee shot. You don't have to hit driver down here. Even a 3-wood's only going to leave a short iron. If you hit your 3-wood 250, 260 yards, do the maths, it's only 120 yards left. With that, with a scoring club, try and get that inside 10, 15 feet. Finish with a birdie.
But if you stray, then what?
Oh, no, we don't think of straying on this hole. This is the last hole. Got to finish well.
But I'm thinking about gators. Are there gators out there?
Well, there's gator on the menu.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Locked in on the read and the speed. Makes the putt for a birdie. Frank, that was an impressive round out there today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. We've seen some great shots out there, and I'm excited to see how the rest of this tournament plays out.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a par of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but It's amazing on the eye.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
So, dropped the shot after ending up with the water on that recent miscue. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Challenging live from the second cut at 135 yards to this hole location. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, also. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. -1 in the early going. Frank, you need to be a bit of a rock climber just to get to this second tee. 445-yard hole. What a view. I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in one. That was not a very good read right there. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. All right, Frank, describe the third hole.
Well, it's a par 3 with a bit of a tabletop green, Rich. Some bunkers right and left of that, but also it's going to play a little bit further. This tee shot is uphill, unlike the opening 2 holes. So a 3 here, and that certainly won't hurt the scorecard. Surely not.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. 383-yard fourth hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down there. Just find the fairway. You're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at Eagle coming up. Settles in over the putt.
Inexcusable.
Boy, this would be nice. A 4th consecutive birdie. Heating up.
One more finger.
Starting to fire on all cylinders. A couple of birdies in a row, and now 4 under. See a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering
it looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Rich, I thought he could get this far.
just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg ride, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green, once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie moves to -8. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand eye.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. And will generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par and you keep things steady. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 9th, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Oh, my goodness. That is on in 1. Wow. What an incredible shot. So the Eagle goes begging. He still has this for birdie. Ranking up the birdie stats today. How about this? 7 birdies on the card. The par 4 10th. And Frank, what's the right way to attack this hole?
A little deceiving off the tee here, Rich, because you don't see the full width of the fairway because of the desert down the right side. You do see those bunkers down the left. 280 yards take them completely out of play. And it's a fun green, obviously protected by those bunkers on the left and that little one-pop bunker on the right. But be aware of the contours of this green, and just be aware, too, where they stick the flag. In that front section, then this is certainly a birdie hole. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Starting to heat up now. Back-to-back birdies. Well done. On to the 11th hole. We're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards. Very playable, and you never know. Today might be the day where you make birdie.
This one has a chance to be close. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round to third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
Nothing to argue about there. Right in the fairway. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Safely aboard. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just sensational golf, and he finishes it off with an eagle. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees. But very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
It's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered. It's gone for a little extra. Can a ball explode?
That is good. I mean, really big. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot. Stroke that with authority. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
From a short par 3 to a short par 4. Just 393 yards here at the 16th, Frank.
And when you stand on this tee, this hole looks anything other than straight. Goes to the left, then comes back to the right. But if you can just fixate at the green in the distance, you're actually going to look like a relatively straight par 4. And that's the way the hole should be played. Look at those first 2 bunkers that you see and just try and split those. Good tee shot here and nothing more than a wedge left into this green. Simplify it. That's the key. Just smokes it.
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you've got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Look at this. Look at all the power in that coil. Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. So a par 5 late in the round, Frank, you want to take advantage.
And you want to take the risk, too. A good tee shot that's within reach. It's too tempting not to go for this green. It's big enough. But obviously, you've really got to try and forget all the trouble in front and around the right side of this green and perhaps even long. But a par 5 that's reachable, especially this late in the round, who wouldn't want to have a go at this?
Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course, you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and well, they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or a 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse.
Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see 2 par 5s back to back, so the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.